All right, guys, let's check out this MeisterSinger Metris. I believe the part number is ME903, if I'm not mistaken. So my buddy Dave sent this in. He sent a couple watches in, but this is the most interesting one by far. For one, I have not handled a single-handed watch. That's not true. Maybe I have in the past, but certainly not this brand and at this level of quality. So yes, you can probably find a single-handed watch for less money, but this is a German made and everything's just so high caliber as far as quality. So what we're looking at here, case size, they say it's a 38 mil. I can measure 38 mil if you measure just this top bezel, but when I measure the actual watch, it's more like 39.4. So we'll just call it 39.5, you know, say from here to here. The lug to lug is very short at 45, so it's going to wear on a smaller wrist easily. And thickness with a double dome sapphire crystal is a 11.5 millimeter, 20 millimeter lug width. So you just have the formula for a very cool looking watch and comfortable, unique case shape, excellent finishing from the brush to the polish and back to the brush, and then the polished bezel, screw down crown. This is actually a 200 meter water resist on this guy. Swiss ETA movement, the 2824, so it's an automatic and you can wind it. Technically you could hack it, but I don't know how you would know that you're hacking on it unless you left it out for, you know, say a minute. Because there's no running seconds hand on this, right? So we have the single hand that is going to give us the hour and minute. And once you slow down and actually read it, I mean, I'm sure you could become, you know, adapted to it where you could glance and get a quick tell of the time. But initially there's a slight, you know, pause where you have to like focus for a second, like what am I really looking at here? So, but I mean, once you understand the dial, it's pretty simple. I mean, it's a simple watch, so it's simple to tell the time for all intents and purposes here. So, you know, we're past the 11, so you know it's 11 something, right? And then each mark is a 5-minute mark, so you can see, you can quickly identify broken off into quarters. So we're just past 11:15. So we can call it whatever you want to call it, but we're just past 11:15. So it's 11:16, 17, 18, something like that, right? 11:18 on the clock behind me. So that's about where we're at. So definitely a watch that is going to be a conversation piece, a little more unique, some playful, fun, whatever you want to call it, but at a very high quality level. You also have the date on this, and I love the way that they did the date magnifier. It's very good quality, probably 2.5 times. And even the date, when we zoom in, you'll see that the cutout for it is actually has a polished bevel insert in the dial. It's pretty slick. The only thing that I would have, you know, like it would have elevated it super next level is if they would have figured out a way to do the date magnifier on the bottom side of the crystal. I would have loved to have seen that. I don't mind it being on the top side. It's not a problem, but the cool factor definitely is elevated if it was on the underside of the crystal. So let's do some close-ups on this. I did throw this on the Timegrapher. It is running phenomenal, excellent numbers, running at a +7 seconds, solid performer for sure. You can see this cream dial with the clean black printing on it is just absolute perfection. White date wheel, easy to read. And then if we can catch the light, you can see that hand appears to be thermally blued. I don't know that they did any other treatment to acquire that. I believe it's just a very good high quality thermally blued hand. And then you can also see that part of the attention to detail is instead of, you know, traditionally when you look at a watch, you'll see that center post has a hole basically going through it. So in this case, they have that completely capped off, so it's more visually appealing, if that makes sense. So just a little things like that that probably most people don't even notice, but that is something that, you know, had to be done a certain way. The way they make that hand, they couldn't just punch it all the way through. There has to be a post on the back side, and then they have to cap it off. Like, it's a little more involved. You know, there's some modifications going on here for sure. So it's pretty slick. Let's take a look at the Caseback, because it is not a screw down Caseback. It's a multiple screws holding down the Caseback. So that's, again, a little bit different than what you would normally see on a 200 meter water resist watch. Excellent job on the pressed. I'm assuming that's oil pressed in or something like that. Very cleanly done, nice and polished, no sharp edges, very comfortable on wrist. If you were to put it on a regular two-piece strap or something like that, it's going to be very comfortable. Comes on this very high quality NATO, and being that it's so thin, you're going to have no problem wearing it on that. If you're a strap junkie, this watch is easy to fish the straps through, two-piece or NATO, like I said. So let me pop this guy on wrist real quick. You already saw what I was wearing, so give me one moment here. I'm not super great at putting NATOs on wrist, but shorter strap, and looks like I don't have to tuck it or anything either, so I do like that. So there you can see on my 7 1/4 inch wrist, wears great, feels great, no issues at all. Very fun watch. I could see owning a single-handed watch, and if I were going to do it, I think, you know, go for the quality like this guy here. Because the retail on these, I'm not sure what kind of discounts you might be able to get on these, but the retail on these are $1,800 or $1,795, so $1,800. Dave picked this one up. There's not a ton of ADs for this brand. Dave picked this one up at Little Treasure Jewelers, but when I was looking it up, I also noticed my buddy Nick over at Exquisite Timepieces down in Florida, he's an AD for it as well. So either one of those guys, I'll try to put a link in the description to either one of those. So if you're looking for one of these and you want to buy it brand new from an AD, hit them up. Maybe they can hook you up. This one here will be offered up. I'll put some information in the description if you would like to purchase it. But you know, once it's gone, because I only have the one, right? So here's a quick explanation too of like what I said earlier. So each mark is 5 minutes. You know, you can see the little bit larger mark, you know, 3 off the hour is 15 minute, and then 30. I mean, it's, once you get it figured out, it's not a big deal. So, and then they have a bunch of different models. So this manual covers all of the models as far as the quick operation of it. Here's the Metris that we were talking about. So you have the one hand, you have your date display that's magnified, you have the locked position or screw down position, and then the first position you'll be able to set your date, and then you pop it all the way out. It'll hack it, which again, I don't know how you would really know unless you left it that way. And then you can set the time, push it back in, you can wind it, but it's an automatic as well. So, you know, give it like 20 turns if it's dead. That'll get you up and running, and then screw it back down and then just wear it. You'll be fine. Because the ETA 2824 still has like, what, a 38-hour power reserve. So if you wear it and you actually move your arm around like a normal human being, then I think it'll wind itself up just fine. You'll have regular use for it. Another option with this one is I don't use my watch winder very often, but say you had like one of these in your collection and you just didn't wear it a ton and you didn't feel like messing with it all the time, maybe this would be a good one to throw on your watch winder and just keep it running all the time. That way it's easy peasy, right? All right, guys, no loom on this either. There are some other colorways where they actually have the darker dial and the printing is actually printed in loom, and then the hand has loom on it. This one, I really do prefer this cream dial with the blued hand, although you're giving up any sort of loom opportunities on it. But I still think it's a better looking package. All right, guys, thanks, Dave, for sending this in, and thanks to you guys for watching this video to the end, and I'll catch you on the next vid.